Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and this video is going to show the fastest fully upgraded vehicles in the GTA Online Compact class in terms of lap time. As always, the position counter is in the top left with the best lap time the vehicle achieved in the top right, and for this 2020 series I'll be showcasing the non-raceable vehicles first. So even though, for example, the Arena Issy is in the compact class and would be competitive for races, since it can't be used in regular compact races, it's not going to be included in the main list. We start the regular raceable vehicles list with the Dilettante in 11th place overall. This video only focuses on track performance, so if you're interested in top speed, where braking, cornering and acceleration aren't relevant, check the link in the description for the top speed testing series, and if you want to know more information about this testing, including the extent to which it's accurate and how useful it is for you personally, have a read of the full description as everything that you need is in there. This video lists all vehicles and is correct as of the Los Santos Summer Special update. For any compact cars added after that or other classes of cars, check the playlist linked in the second line of the description, and feel free to check out my Patreon or become a YouTube member if you want to support this work and get testing results of any new cars a little bit early. So we're seeing the ASBO there on screen just as it leaves in 9th place overall. Something that I should mention about the ASBO is that you need the lowest suspension upgrade for the maximum camber on the wheels, and that will make the car more stable and quicker. That isn't the case for all vehicles that have camber in the game, but it certainly is for the 3 vehicles in the class that have camber that are in the compact class. So keep that in mind if you ever do that, but even at its most stable and best, it's only good enough for 9th place anyway. The compact class back in 2013 when it was first released only had 4 vehicles in it. It's kind of strange to think about it. The Dilettante, the Prairie that we've just seen, the Issy and the Blister, with the Prairie, the Issy and the Blister still being very close together in the main list in 8th, 7th and 6th places respectively. Those were the only 4 vehicles in the compact class, and through updates that we've had over the years, it's now a fully fledged class of 12 vehicles, 11 of which are raceable. Obviously the Arena Issy that we saw at the very start only gets the lap time it does because it can have the boost that Arena vehicles get, but that's a good number of cars for a class, I would say, and it certainly had a lot more DLC vehicles than the Coupes class has had. The Panto here still holds on to 5th place, and just ahead of it we will have the Rhapsody as well. The Panto and the Rhapsody always used to be the top dogs. For quite a while they were some of the very first DLC vehicles for the compact class, and I would probably say that those two encapsulate what's best about the compact class. Not too quick, you're not expecting very quick vehicles in the compact class, but small, different characteristics. Obviously the Rhapsody being rear wheel drive, the Panto front wheel drive, very small car the Panto, Rhapsody small but in a different way. And yeah, it was always good fun, and it still is good fun to race both of those vehicles together, but both of them don't make it into the top 3 now, because in 3rd place we do have the Blister Canjo, another one of those vehicles where having the maximum camber, the lowest suspension on the car, will make it more stable in the corners, so keep that in mind if you want the Canjo. It's good enough for a lap time of 1 minute 13, which is a good 2 seconds per lap quicker than what we just saw from the Rhapsody and the Panto, but there's still much quicker to come from this. And obviously back in the day of the Panto and the Rhapsody, the Brioso came along and absolutely demolished the class, and the Blister Canjo and various other additions like the ASBO that we saw since then haven't been able to dethrone it. But the Brioso RA is now only in 2nd place for the class. It has certainly been dethroned after this latest update, which we'll talk about, but it's still a very quick car, the Brioso. A lot of people don't like it because it's quite difficult to drive. It can, snap on you easily and turn around, but it still gets a very respectable lap time of a 1 minute 11.2. It does demolish everything else in the compact class except one vehicle, and you probably already know what that one vehicle is at this point because it's brand new with the Los Santos Summer Special DLC, and it's quite remarkable considering the Brioso demolished the class back in the day by about 4 seconds. It's kind of fitting that the Brioso itself has been demolished by about 4 seconds. So in 1st place we do have the BF Club with a lap time of 1 minute 6.968. At this point, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already for regular lap time and top speed testing videos and updates when new cars are released, and check out other classes in the playlist. But yeah, that is an absolutely crazy lap time for the club. The 1:06 range just sneaks into it. That would beat a lot of sports cars. It's not only 4 seconds per lap quicker than the Brioso, it's also over a second per lap quicker than the sports class Sugoi as well, which, as of the Casino Heist update, became the quickest front wheel drive car around the track. So that makes the club easily the quickest front wheel drive car in the game for lap time. And as you'll see from the comparison in a short while between it and the Brioso, it's easily also the best option for the compact class races as well. Unfortunately, Rockstar have done their thing where they make the new quickest car in a class the most expensive, with the club setting you back around $1.3 million. That is fairly hefty considering the relatively low cost of, the rest of the class. The compact class isn't that expensive as a general rule, but if you do stump up the cash, you'll be getting by far the best compact class car in the game, and it absolutely demolishes everything. Now, this is the third vehicle out of the compact class that also needs the lowest suspension on it. I mean, it doesn't need it, and none of the cars need it, but putting the lowest suspension on and inducing the maximum camber to the Asbo, the Ballistic Kanjo, and the club will just make it more stable around the corners, give you more confidence to push it. You can get relatively close lap times with the club with stock suspension. I did test it obviously, but it's not as consistent, let's say, and you can be a lot more stable with inducing that maximum camber. I'm not a fan of having to have that. I wish that it wasn't that way for some of these vehicles, and there are certainly some vehicles that have camber with suspension in other classes that aren't made better by it. It doesn't matter. But the club is unfortunately one of those, so you do have to have that maximum suspension if you want to make it, the best it can be. But as you can see from that lap time difference, it's absolutely crazy how much quicker the club is for the compact class. And like I said, a 1:07 lap time, that would pretty much be in the mid pack of the sports class. It would certainly beat a lot of sports cars and a lot of other cars in the game in a lot of other classes. So the compact class now has gone from being all about the Brioso to all about the club. It's a shame it's not on the same pace of the Brioso so that there's both of them, but there you go, the club is the one to have. That's pretty much it for this one. Consider supporting on Patreon or become a YouTube member if you want to get testing results early, and remember to read the description for more info, comment with your thoughts, like the video if you enjoyed or found it helpful, and subscribe for more. Thank you all so much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.